Hello guys, my name is Luciana Diajingwani. I'm an advanced level student, and this video is to explain how we can perform the test for halides. In this experiment, we will need test tubes, zinc chloride, sodium bromide, potassium iodide, a syringe, silver nitrate, a container, distilled water, a spatula, and a balance. So the first step is to take a permanent marker and label the test tubes. In the first test tube, we label it as zinc chloride, the same as ZnCl2. In the second one, we write sodium bromide or simply NaBr. And in the third test tube, we write potassium iodide, which is the same as Ki. So this is how the test tubes look labeled. This is the test tube for zinc chloride. This is the test tube for sodium bromide. And this is the test tube for potassium iodide. Secondly, we take the container and measure its mass first before measuring the mass of the compound that we want to have, and press stir in the balance so that the mass of the container does not influence the mass of the compound that we want to have to use in the experiment. The measurement for sodium bromide that we want to obtain is approximately 0.1 grams. Since this is an experiment that focuses mainly in color changes, we can measure an approximate value to 0.1 grams and not exactly 0.1 grams, as the experiment is not exactly quantitative. The measurement I got for this one is 0.12 grams of sodium bromide. Then we take the container with sodium bromide and put the sodium bromide in the labeled test tube for sodium bromide that we will use in this experiment. Then we proceed on measuring approximately 0.1 grams of potassium iodide. We take the container, put it on a balance, measure its mass, press stir, then measure approximately 0.1 grams of potassium iodide. Then, as we did for sodium bromide, we do the same for potassium iodide. We put the potassium iodide in a container in the respective test tube for potassium iodide that we will use in the experiment. Then lastly, we measure zinc chloride. Zinc chloride is a liquid substance, and that's why I preferred to measure it the last one, since the others are pounder like. We measure the mass of the container, press stir, then measure approximately 0.1 grams of zinc chloride. Since zinc chloride is a liquid substance, I chose to mix it with distilled water before I put zinc chloride in the labeled test tube for zinc chloride, so that I could get the maximum amount of zinc chloride that I have measured in the balance. Make sure you mix it well so that you can get all the zinc chloride that you have measured. Then you take the mixture and pour it into the zinc chloride test tube. After that, we take distilled water and put distilled water in each test tube. We put in the test tube for potassium iodide, in the test tube for sodium bromide, and a little bit in the zinc chloride test tube. We shake it well so that the compound is evenly distributed among the solution. Now, this is the most interesting part. In this part, we use silver nitrate to perform the test for the presence of halide ions. Silver nitrate has silver and nitrate, and when silver reacts with an halide, it forms a precipitate except for fluorine. Here in this moment, I'm mixing zinc chloride with silver nitrate. We can observe that it forms a white color. Make sure you mix it well so that the substance is equally distributed among the solution. Now we proceed on reacting sodium bromide with silver nitrate. In this step, you don't have to put a lot of silver nitrate, as we are not seeing in this step if they are soluble in excess. It forms a cream color. Make sure you shake it well. Now we proceed on reacting potassium iodide with silver nitrate. You can put the amount of silver nitrate that is enough for you, but it has to be a few drops. It forms a pale yellow color. This is called white precipitate, and it forms when silver nitrate reacts with chloride ions. This is the color that forms when there is the presence of bromide ions, showing that there are bromide ions in the solution. And this is the color that forms when iodine ions are present, which is pale yellow, as you guys can see in these pictures. Now we want to see if the precipitates are soluble in excess. If they are soluble in excess, they will go back to colorless. If they are insoluble, then the color remains. We add silver nitrate in each test tube. Then we shake it well. This is the test tube for zinc chloride, and as you can see, it did not go back to colorless. The test tube for sodium bromide did not go back to colorless as well, and the test tube for potassium iodide which did not go back to colorless as well, which means that these substances are not soluble in excess. This is the final look of each test tube. Now let us do a recap. In the presence of chlorine ions, a white precipitate will form, as you can see in the video. In the presence of bromine ions, a cream precipitate will form. And lastly, in the presence of iodine ions, a pale yellow precipitate will form. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.